Little Miss Bossy Saves the Zoo by Roger Hargreaves. On this particular morning, the streets were empty. There was nobody in sight. All the shops were closed. "Where is everybody?" shouted a very cross little Miss Bossy. "I've got lots of shopping to do. I can't waste my time like this." Where do you think everybody had gone? They were all at the zoo. And they were having a marvelous time. So were the animals. From every corner of the zoo, you could hear laughs and giggles. It was a very happy place to be. "We should have days out like this more often," said Mr. Tall. The others all agreed. "And the best thing about today," added Mr. Nosy, "is that little Miss Bossy isn't here to order us around." And it was true. Without little Miss Bossy, things were peaceful and everyone was smiling. Later that day, the zookeeper told the visitors that he had to leave, but that they were welcome to stay a little longer. He left the key with Mr. Forgetful, asking him to lock the gate as he left. "You can count on me," said Mr. Forgetful proudly. Would you have left the key with Mr. Forgetful? I'm not sure I would have. At the end of the day, everybody went out to the bus, which was waiting to take them back to town. They were all chatting happily about their favorite animals. Some loved the monkeys, others the lions, but they all agreed that it had been a splendid day. But Mr. Forgetful was worried. "Let me see," he said to himself, scratching his head. "Before I go, I must do something. But what is it? Knock at the gate? No, that's not right at all. Lock the plate? No, that's not right either." And the more he thought about it, the more muddled he became. Block the date? Shock the skate? Oh, dear me. He went back to his friends on the bus, and just as the bus began to move, he remembered. "Lock the gate! That's it!" shouted Mr. Forgetful. "Driver, you must take us back to the zoo." And back at the zoo, what a sight! All the animals were gone. The animals had taken over the town. The hippopotamus was delighted with the fresh, cool water in Little Miss Splendid's fountain. Little Miss Splendid was less delighted. And just for the first time, the giraffe had found a bed that was just the right size for her. She was so pleased. Mr. Tall was less pleased. "Whatever shall we do?" cried Mr. Forgetful. "How will we ever get all the animals back to the zoo? Even if we found them all, they wouldn't do as we asked." But Mr. Clever had an idea. "Quick march! Hurry up at the back! No messing around! Keep up! Left, right!" came a voice as the animals walked in a perfectly straight line back to the zoo. And behind them marched, yes, that's right, little Miss Bossy. Clang! As the last animal went into the zoo, Mr. Forgetful shut the gate and turned the key in the lock. The animals were all safely back inside. Now the whole zoo echoed to the shouts of little Miss Bossy. "You, monkey, stop pulling silly faces. You, elephant, enough of your splashing. And you, lion, don't even think about roaring at me." Mr. Forgetful smiled and walked back towards the town. He was pleased that this time he had remembered everything. But back at the zoo, somebody was shouting. "Come back at once and let me out of this zoo." I think you know who.